Howdy, war kids, how's it going? Drake Liddell's Tech Tips here. We are back for some more fun in the studio. This one was requested, so I'm going to try and go into as much detail as I can. And it's basically all about vocals and uh, so knowing your key of your vocals and then working in the right key with your vocals and such. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do mainly like everything that I would do myself kind of thing. So first of all, I'm gonna open this and I use this here, which is vocalremover.org, and this is good for telling your key of your vocal. So basically what I'm going to do now is just drop my vocal stem into it, and it's telling us that my key is A minor. And you don't, to be fair, the Camelot wheel, like it's all that it's mainly used by DJs and stuff for mixing in key and stuff like that. I mean you can so what it is, the Camelot wheel and that is used for, there's certain colours, different scales and keys and stuff like that, and then you can um like get the right key together for mixing, but like in different like tempos and stuff as well. So like if you one tempo is slightly higher than the other, then you can kind of match them and stuff with this Camelot wheel thing. But we're not going to go too much into that because I mean it's nothing to do with production anyway. I mean we just need to know the key of the vocal we're working in, and so right. So anyway, so this is the vocals. This is the key, A minor. It's saying the BPM is 76, which is I don't know how that bloody works out like anyway. But the main thing we need to know is the key of one vocal anyway. So we're gonna just get rid of that. So we're in A minor. Or there's another way you can do it. So like just say if you want to remix a tune. So say you wanting to remix, I don't know, man. Madonna, Frozen, and then so you click on tune bat, and then that'll tell you the key of the track is C major, C sharp major, and the BPM and stuff like that. All sorts of that information underneath there. But yeah, mainly the key we're wanting. So that would be the key, the vocal or whatever, and then obviously you'd work from within the track that you're making, writing your chords in the right key to go along with the vocal and stuff. Right, so we're not gonna go into that anyway, but that's just another way you can do it. Say if you're remixing a track of somebody else's or whatever, and you want to know the key of the track and the vocal or whatever, then you can go and do it that way. Right. So now what we need to do is we need to drag the vocal into here, and I've chosen a vocal that I've done a remix for back in 2020 for KCB's 20th anniversary remix of Be With You. So these are the vocals here, which are very fucking rare. Right, so
no matter what you say, no matter if it's true, no. Have you ever been lonely in the middle? Have you ever been lonely in the middle of the night?
right, so what we need to do here now, right? So the vocal's already in the right time. It's at 150 BPM, and we need to write some chords, with some root notes and stuff, which we'll get into that further on anyway in a minute. Right, so first of all, what we need to do is we need to click our channel rack open. Click this bit here. So like I say, just follow the mouse and then you'll see what I'm pointing at or what I'm getting at. Right, so right here, hover over here, click here, and we'll open VST plugin, which is I think we're going to open Silent One. Right, so this is a synthesizer, Silent One by Lana Digital, and this is where you can get your synth sounds from and stuff like that, and basically like choose presets or design your own sounds, modulate your own sounds and stuff as well. Sorry, I was a bit slow there, like I'm just trying to keep keep my mind at it, like, but it's actually quite tough trying to record a video while you're trying to explain things and tell people things. Yeah, it does get a bit. But anyway, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to choose a preset of mine, which I'm just going to go up here. I've already got some presets already here. So we're going to go bass pad. So this is what I'll do anyway to go, like, obviously for the key if we're tracking that in anyway, right? So we're just going to use this as a bass pad. And then we'll assign this to track 1. Right, so first of all, what we need to do now is we need to bring our piano roll up, and if you right click on there, open piano roll, or you can use F7 on the buttons on your keyboard. I'm just trying to do it the easiest way possible for people who are totally new to this and that as well. Right, so first of all, we've got the vocal. We know it's in A minor, right? So our first note is going to be, our first root note is going to be A, and we're going to do it on A on octave 4. So obviously octave means how, so you've got like a full octave there from C5 to C4. In this case, it's A4 to A5. Obviously higher, lower. Right, so now what we're going to do is we'll play that. It's pretty good actually that we're working at A minor, to be fair, because it's a quite an easy key to work in, especially when it comes to writing chords and like being within the scale that you need to be in of the track, if A minor, because all the keys in A minor, what you could use in that anyway, are the all white keys, so you can't go wrong. It's like none of them in A minor chord, basically every key is a white key, so you can't go wrong with it. Like there's no sharps or nothing like that. So first of all, we're gonna go with A, like I said before, and then we're just gonna, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna listen to the vocal first.
Have you ever been lonely in the middle of the night? Caught up in the thought of making intimate desires.
Right, so if I just paste that block in from, so if I click on here, and this will bring up your patterns. So click on that, so we're highlighting pattern 1, and then we'll just, hold on, sorry, I've got my snap on. So if we go on here, and then if we click snap to main, and then that'll snap it right in between the lines and where it needs to be. Right, so the reason I'm putting this here is so when I'm playing it, I can actually follow, like kind of try and follow the vocal with the bass notes, if you know what I mean. Right, so if I get my piano roll back up, which is this bit up here, and then press play.
Have you ever been lonely? Have you ever
Right, now that doesn't sound in the right place.
Have you ever been have you ever been lonely in the middle of the night?
I think I'm gonna go up to A5 actually.
Have you ever been lonely in the middle? Have you ever been lonely in the middle of the Have you ever been lonely in the middle of the night? Have you ever
So, still doesn't sound right. Right, so I'm gonna take the snap off. I'm just gonna change it to 1/6 step, so I can move it so it's.
Have you ever been Have you have you ever been lonely in the middle of
It would help if I changed the BPM. Like, oh my god, honestly. Never mind. Schoolboy error. Right, so obviously, first things first, what you need to do is change the BPM for God's sake. Right, so 150 BPM. There we go. Thought something was totally off there. Right, so.
Have you ever been lonely in the middle of the night?
Right, now that sounds pretty much right to me, like. I mean, if you want to, you don't necessarily have to use them. You don't have to use them. No, I mean, I could, if I wanted to, I could.
Have you ever been lonely in the middle of the night?
But I mean, going up to B doesn't really fit right. So I think we're gonna go. I think I'm gonna drop all the notes down full octave. So if I press hold Control in and then press down on the arrows, and then that takes the whole notes all down a full octave.
Have you ever been lonely in the middle of the night? Have you ever been lonely in the middle of the night?
Right, so they sound pretty good to me how they are there. So they're your root notes. So these are what you're going to use as your actual bass notes, and these are your root notes. So these could be used as a bass line. So that sounds right to me there. So we're gonna progress on. We're gonna add another bit in there, and we're just gonna see what this whole bit sounds like.
Have you ever been lonely in the middle of the night? Caught up in the thought of making intimate desires.
Right, now that sounds perfect, right? So those are your root notes of your track. These will be used as your bass notes, your bass pad. They'll be used as your root bottom notes for your chords and stuff like and so on. So they are the backbone notes of your track. Right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to choose some chords, some nice pad sounds for some chords. So what I'll do is I'll up here where I'm hovering the mouse, if you can see, I'll change it to pattern 2. I'll open my channel rack here, and then I'll open, say, another silent one, and then don't know, I've got any presets in there for we'll just use that one here. I know it's, oh no bass pad, yeah, we'll just use that. We'll just use the lead sound anyway. It'll be all right. Right, so now what we need to do, we need to use them root bottom notes, what we've got here. So there, so if we're Control A, Control C, which is Control Alt, Control Copy, and then if we go to open your piano roll on this one, on pattern 2, and then Control V, which is paste. Right, so we've got them bottom notes in there now, which don't sound very right because they've got arpeggiate on. So if we turn the arp off, no, to be fair, that sounds terrible. Maybe if I just look for a different sound. Just so maybe use Darren Porter sound or something. Right, so got a nice sound there now anyway. We'll put that to the channel 2. Right, so we're going to change these to chords now. And what I mean by chords is when you're playing multiple sounds, then it's changing it to a chord. Whereas at the minute we're just playing one note, so it's just a note. So A note, G note, and then F note, E note. And how I'm doing that is I'm holding Alt and then pressing me right click, and then obviously that's so using that method as well with it holding Alt and going like that, it kind of helps when you're writing chords as well, because obviously you can't play both like 2 or 3 notes together just by clicking it or whatever. I mean, or you can play the pattern, but when you're writing them it's quite quick just to do that to see if it sounds right. So first note we're going to do is so A minor, so bit of counting here, as you have already maybe seen in some me making the track tutorial. So basically we've got 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7. A nice simple chord. And then same again, 1, 2, 3, 4 in this case. So and then next we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, in this case it's just the minor chord. So taking it to 4 is a major. It's like you're kind of borrowing a key from like a major scale, but like I say, obviously for it to be in this A minor scale, we need to use from the major, like the major chord, like that. Don't want to get too technical with things, but that's just how it is. Right, so next obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we'll finish off. Whoop. And we'll finish off like that. So we just need to play that now. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to put that in here. Right, so I need to turn the volume down a bit on that, like, because it's loud as hell.
Have you ever been lonely in the middle of the night? Caught up in the thought of making intimate desires.
so there you have it. I mean, that's probably about as simple as I can kind of put things. So obviously we've went into we've used on the internet, we've dragged and dropped the vocal in, it's given with the key of the vocal, which is A minor. Then we brought the vocal into FL Studio itself on the arrangement playlist. And then we've worked out so obviously with first note is the A. And then obviously keeping things in the right scale. Like I said before, obviously all the white keys, every single white key is within that scale A minor, so you can use every single white key. So we chose A to start with, then we went down to G, and then down to F, and then down to E, and that basically is, so you've got like 1, 2, 3, and that's 4 bars there. So 1 bar A, 2 bar G, 3 bar F4, and then your last 4th bar is E. And them are your root notes where you'd use a bass. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to mute them. And now I'm going to show you like how so using them notes there, like I said before, the root notes of your track. Now we'll write like a bass. So if we click on the channel rack, go to change it to pattern 3, and then I'll just choose just same just that one will do. Right, so what we need to do, the easiest way to go about this obviously is, you can see all your notes are there. So if you Control C, and then that'll copy them, and go back to your pattern 3, go to the piano roll, like say you can use F7 on the keyboard or whatever. I'm just trying to make things simple. So you right click on there, piano roll, and then Control V, and then that copies them in there. So now, which obviously we're writing bass notes here, so what we need to do to change it from that is we'll just go like that, all highlighted, and then just click anywhere, just don't highlight it or whatever. So if we hold Control and then hold in the left click on your mouse, and then that like I say, that highlights them. So what we need to do now is we need to bring these on an offbeat bass. So we'll pull them across there, and now we're just copying. So hit, draw that into there like that, and that into there. Yeah, I'm not trying not to make things too hard, just trying to keep things quite simple, especially for like people who are beginners. So there, so we've got the bass line in there, and that would go along with, hold on, we'll just put that on number 3. So if you use your wheel on your mouse, you can go up and down the numbers, which is on your inserts. So there, so we'll put that on number 3. We'll just turn that down a bit, and we'll listen to that, how the bass line could be.
Have you ever been lonely?
And sorry, I forgot to change something. It's got the time stretch on it. So basically, always check this on here. So once you put a sample in, sometimes it can have like a loops on it, and it can be time stretched or whatever. And obviously, as you can see on here, it's got a tiny little bit of time stretch on it. So I'll just pull that right down, and that takes it back to normal. And now we'll play that again.
Have you ever been lonely in the middle of the night? Caught up in the thought of making intimate desires.
So there you go. And if you want to stick a kick in with it as well, so obviously we've got this kick, 808 kick already loaded up, and piano roll, and just draw kicks on the beat, obviously, and then we'll draw that in there to go along with the bass and see what that sounds like.
Have you ever been lonely in the middle of the night? Caught up in the thought of making intimate desires.
So there you go. There you have it. I think that's as much as I can kind of explain about that, really. Yeah, so that's basically it. So like I say, we dragged it in to a vocal key finder on the internet and that. Come up A minor, so we know we're working at A minor. These obviously, we've chose these within the scale. So obviously within a minor A minor scale, so it'll be like, so obviously A, got B, we can use C, we can use D, E, F, G, and then back to A. So all them there are basically within that A minor scale, and we can use any of them notes there, and things should sound right. So like say obviously we've chose to use obviously A as our first note, and then obviously we went down to G, which G is obviously in the scale, and then we went down to F, which is obviously in the scale, and then we went down to E, which is obviously in the scale as well. I mean, that's probably the most simplified way I can kind of put it, really. I think I've quite covered what I can with it. And then like I say, obviously we've changed them to chords in here, simple chords. And then obviously we've used bottom root notes, and we've used them to make the bass notes, and that's basically it, really. So hope you've all enjoyed this little tutorial, and I will be back with a few more tech tips in due course. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.